Little did I know. From Shadows to Light, my story.
Chapter 1. From Shadows to First Light. Born into chaos and love in Cahos, David, the youngest of the Liddle triplets, learns early that memory, shame, class, faith, music, and masculinity will tug him in different directions. Yet the pull toward gentleness and purpose keeps showing through. The final years at West End Park. The last 2 years living near West End Park were a collision course of lessons. Some learned the hard way. 1974 at Abram Lansing School. I had a crush on Lori Powinski. I was relentless in trying to win her attention, mostly by teasing her, which I know was a terrible strategy. One day she had enough and shoved me. I stumbled, smashed into a window, and clipped my right eye on the way down. 12 stitches and one humbling day off school later, I knew she was never going to be my girlfriend. That same year, I smoked my first cigarette, not out of curiosity, but to look cool for Kevin Pauley's older sister. She was 4 or 5 years older than me, but in my 8 or 9-year-old brain, I thought I had a shot. It was around this time that I also committed my first real shoplift. Kevin and I were on our way to play pinball at Oscar's Variety Store when we stopped by the Five and Dime. I spotted a Cap Gun 38 Special revolver, looked around, and stuffed it into my pants. To this day, I don't fully know why I did it. Maybe because my mother had strict no guns rule, even toy ones. Maybe I wanted to feel dangerous. Mostly, I just wanted to feel seen. My 4th grade teacher, Mr. McGrail, was a World War II vet with hands like anvils and a gravel-thick voice. If I acted up in class, he'd call me to the front and have me hold out my hand for a snap with his penknife handle. I learned not to flinch. He respected that. And strangely, I respected him back. He's still one of my favorite teachers. After class, he'd let a few boys stay behind to wrestle. I only joined in when I knew I wouldn't get hurt too bad. Andy Britt was one of those boys, more acquaintance than friend. One day we went back to his house while his mom was out. We started wrestling in the kitchen, and bam! My head hit the corner of the stove. Blood poured down my face. Andy grabbed a dish towel and walked me home. I told my mom I tripped on his porch and hit the railing. She didn't ask questions. I didn't offer answers. 5th grade brought new traumas. I had a crush on Marcy Blanchard. Smart, sweet, and beautiful. Her mom worked at the school and knew mine. I passed her a love note. It got intercepted and read aloud. She cried. I cried. I didn't mean to hurt her. I just didn't know how to show affection without screwing it up. Our teacher, Mrs. Baccaro, was another crush of mine. By mid-year, she revealed she was pregnant. When she told the class she'd be leaving to have her baby, I was crushed. Again. My heart was far too tender for my rough little world. Then came the big move. We left Maston Avenue for a new subdivision, a world that felt like suburbia without the shiny polish. I had to take a bus to school now, surrounded by kids from different backgrounds. They lived in single-family homes and didn't know what to make of me. And frankly, I didn't know what to make of them. Of 1975 marked the end of one chapter and the start of another. Little did I know, all of this was just the beginning. Packing up and moving felt like it took weeks, though time moves differently when you're young and uncertain. Our new neighborhood was still finding its shape. Rows of houses half finished, piles of lumber and dirt where lawns would someday grow. For a boy like me, it was a dreamscape of places to disappear into. Behind the house, the old D&H Railroad still rumbled with passing trains. I used to sit and watch them carve their way through the landscape, not knowing that one day the tracks would fall silent, reborn as a bicycle path. A bit farther east, beyond the tracks, lay a wooded gully with a narrow creek that eventually found its way to the Mohawk River. That wilderness, just out of sight, felt like my own private world. The house itself was a raised ranch, 4 bedrooms, a 2-car garage, and a small utility room. The kitchen barely held more than 1 person at a time, and the living dining space was modest, but it was enough. It was home. We had just gotten a Chihuahua puppy, a tiny little guy we named Cricket. He came from a litter my Uncle Bill's dog had, along with his brother Benji, who went to live with my Uncle Ben, and their sister Chico, who ended up with my Nana. Cricket was full of energy and seemed to take the chaos of the move in stride. Around that time, we also lost our family cat Jody, a beautiful Siamese who had been both indoor and outdoor. She was likely attacked by something wild near West End Park. Jody's loss stayed with me longer than I expected. Before her, we'd had a small beagle named Trixie, but she'd been hit by a car when I was much younger. These pets were part of the fabric of my childhood, each one stitched into a moment I didn't know I'd remember so clearly. After settling in, I started making friends with the neighborhood kids. Jimmy and Joey Welcome, twins who were in my 5th grade class, had come from School 4, which ended at 4th grade. There were the Ribberty brothers, Timmy and Stevie, who went to Troy LaSalle, and Bobby Cole, who, like me, was new to the school. Our homes formed a tight little circle in the new development, and we kids quickly formed our own orbit within it. Little did I know I would take a liking to this new environment. Thank you for spending this time with me, the Pussycat Wizard. These moments we share, whether in shadows or in light, are threads in a much larger story, one I'm honored to tell with you beside me. As always, the journey continues. The next chapter subsection is waiting, and I'd be honored if you'd walk with me a little further down this road. Until then, keep the wonder alive, and I'll see you in the next episode of Little Did I Know.
If it's a moment you're after, let's give this a shot. 3 quick breaths in through the nose, believe it or not. It will render you happy in the sunshine of the day. I love living in Bisbee and no, I am not gay. The flowers do smell so wonderful in spring. I sit on my porch, a throne for a king. My libido is for magic, man or woman, it's not. So celibacy, I'm after magic mushrooms and pot. It's my life, I've chosen, like it or not. Bullfrogs and butterflies, Aunt Ruth, she had wrote. If music's like living, then I love every note. Bullfrogs and butterflies and plenty of pot. In the streets of Cohoes, where I call my home, with Sharon, Debbie, Doreen, James, and William, we all roam. From the block to the park, we never walked alone. Through thick and thin, siblings forever, tightly sewn. Playing ball in the playground under the summer sun. the small town where childhood begun. I sit on my porch, a throne for a king. My libido is for magic man or woman, and it's not. So celibacy I'm after, magic mushrooms and pot. It's my life I have chosen, like it or not. Bullfrogs and butterflies, and Ruth, she had wrote, if music's like living,